Right.
Okay, that's the firehouse.
Mm-hmm.
That contains the first fire truck of Garden Grove. Right now it's locked up because the alarm's on, but we're having a tour on a Sunday, 1:30, where you can actually go inside.
And you do that, every other Sunday?
First and third Sunday of the month. So. And we can go back here as long as we stay far enough away from these buildings so you don't set the alarm off.
I wasn't sure if it was roped off just for cars or people weren't allowed back here.
Well, actually, people aren't allowed back here when we're not here. But
right.
I'm here, so I'll let you back here.
Okay, thank you.
Like that there building is Walt Disney's first studio.
Right. Mm-hmm.
If you're a Disney freak, you make pilgrimage. Disney freaks make pilgrimages to that building and what's inside. There's a lot of memorabilia. This building here was actually a classroom building for the first couple of years Garden Grove High School was in existence.
That's what I was guessing it was, an old red schoolhouse.
Yeah, and inside now it's made up like an 1890s one-room schoolhouse. The house we're walking right straight toward is the Reader House. It used to be on Stanford, just down behind where the Methodist Church is. He has good bones, but the body needs to be fixed. You know somebody who has lots and lots and lots and lots of money? I mean, the parking lot after them, and we can restore the house. And this house here is a special house. In front of it, you can take a look and I'll tell you the story about one of its inhabitants. First of all, about the house, you look at it, you see 3 doors. And there's also 2 doors on that side and then 2 doors on that side, so it's 7 doors. The house was never anything but a single-family residence. Why so many doors? But that's not the name, Blayholder. That's Henry Blayholder, who was a farmer. And this house was over where the mortuary is, down on Chapman.
On Chapman?
Yeah. Henry Blayholder had two sons who became professional baseball players. Harry played for the Salt Lake City Bees from 1921 to 1923. He's not the important one. And the next son, George Blayholder, he pitched in the major leagues for 10 years. First major league baseball player from Garden Grove.
For what team?
Mostly the St. Louis Browns. Played half a year for the A's and 1 year for Cleveland in 1936. He was the one that one of the very earliest pitchers to throw a slider. He's the one that really showed you could throw it. And the slider basically changed the way baseball's played.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we have one of the fire volunteers who helps with the fire truck. Played minor league baseball up to AAA level. In fact, he was on the 40-man roster for the Dodgers in 1980. I asked him, could you ever hit a slider? He says, no. Don't blame the guy here. It was in 1936, George Blayholder taught a 17-year-old rookie to pitch. That rookie was Bob Feller.
Oh, my God.
And Feller spent the rest of his life advocating Blayholder being in the Hall of Fame just because of the slider.
Never made it?
No, Feller made it, but
Blayholder didn't?
had a losing record.
No.
105 and 115 because he played mostly for the Browns, and for the most part they were lousy teams. This is the Schnittger House, 1916 California bungalow, craftsman style. That used to be where the Ralphs is.
Oh yeah, I probably walked past that many times going to TikTok on Chapman and Euclid.
Yeah, and it was dragged over here around 1970 plus. We go inside on the tour. Hello, Megan. She's getting the nickel tour.
Every time I turn around, you're giving a nickel tour. Outside the Blayholder house.
Yeah, And we have the first post office. There's our police museum, which just opened. It's on the tour now. And the blacksmith shop basically is storage.
Oh, okay.
So this is basically come back on Sunday at 1:30,
All right.
you get to see more of it.
Get to see the inside.
That'd be great. I appreciate you walking me around.
Well, I don't want you to set the alarm off.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw how quiet it was back here, so I was trying to just be like very still and not.
Well, you know, just you know, it's just that we have a homeless problem. So.
Oh yeah, I can
so
understand
I
that.
warn people that I don't want you to get hauled away because you get caught in the, you know, accidentally set something off. And basically, if they don't
even
have
if you
excuse,
don't set it off, because the police have a trespass letter from us that if they find anybody back here that won't leave
Okay. Yeah.
willingly and right away.
I guess I should have asked them before I came back here. I'm sorry about that.
yeah,
if we're here, we keep an eye on you, but so often there's nobody here.
Yeah, and it's the homeless. You know, like if they would just sleep on the porch there and just go away without doing anything, okay, no harm, no foul. But they don't.
They would just move in.
That's why we have to do this. And
it's kind of a pain to have to come out and gather up needles and other junk before you let the tourists in.
Yeah.
And but tell your friends about us too, since you lived across the street.
Yeah.
You might remember what it looked like before the farm.
When I was in elementary schools, when they first started making this place, and I saw them moving some of the buildings over here, and me and my friend used to come and don't tell anybody. We used to climb inside the building.
And there's still strawberry fields across the fence.
Well, it used to be an orange grove before that.
There were strawberries when we came in.
My dog used to go and we got in trouble because my dog would run around wild and he killed some of the Stanley's chickens.
That would upset
Mrs.
Stanley and Emerson, But
we were in bad stage with Stanley.
The farm was 40 acres, extended. There's where Stanley's school right there.
Right.
And that was part of the farm. All that, it was a big 40-acre square. Extended from that southern boundary all the way down to Chapman, all the way over.
And are the eucalyptus trees, are those out there in front, are those originals?
They were what's left.
Yeah. Because I know they used to put eucalyptus trees to protect the orange groves. Yeah,
and also to use them for windbreaks and property markers, things like that. And those are, I think, the only two left. And this one. That's not a eucalyptus. Yeah, we had to get that.
This one here is?
Yeah.
That's that small one.
Lemon eucalyptus.
Yeah.
You don't see too many of those around here.
No, and because this part of the farm, that part of the farm was the walnut grove at one time that Edward Ware had, and there really weren't growing too many things on it by the time they sold it. I've seen aerial photographs. The rest of it was oranges and a few others, like the chickens and other things that they kept. So this is what we have.
And the pepper trees were planted since, or were those on the farm?
No, the pepper trees were planted when they moved the building through, like that one, the big one.
The big one there and this one.
Yeah.
So those go back to the beginning of the 70s.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So, I have a soft spot for the pepper trees because they take me back to my childhood in Australia.
Oh.
And those were favorite trees just for playing, climbing, building cubby houses under them. If you didn't prune them, they draped right down
natural
the ground.
little fort.
And they do so well in the desert environment. I've left those all over California, finding seeds and sprouting them and planting them in my garden. And there are people up and down the state that hate me.
Oh.
Well, when eucalyptus were first brought to the state, they wanted to grow them for railroad ties.
Oh.
Because they grow so quickly. However, they don't grow straight. They grow. You can tell by looking at it. They
gnarly kind of.
And so they're no good. Actually, eucalyptus wood isn't good for much of anything with burning.
But they hold up against the wind, so that makes them useful.
Actually, they hold up pretty well, but they are shallow rooted, so this is wind fast enough.
Oh, they can go over, huh?
Yeah. And this is is that a Valencia or a
Navel?
Navel, yeah, because there's a couple dwarf navels over here. and a tangerine, an Algerian tangerine tree.
By the end of summer, it will probably look like it's dead again, and then we'll have a shower of rain, and it'll come back. It's a tough little tree.
Yeah.
I'm on my way out, Carl.
Okay, I'll see you on Sunday then.
Yeah.
Is this mailbox? Is this original 1928? It says on it.
From about that time, yeah. And this is our post office building, the original first post office built. We need somebody to restore it. We're a 100% volunteer organization, getting no government money, so as you can tell, that means we're always short of money.
Right.
And we do have people who make donations of items and money. We've had Schnitzler family member paint the Schnitzler house, and we had the last Stanley paint the Stanley house a couple of years ago. And we do have a dedicated bunch of ex-firefighters with the firehouse.
Yeah, when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I got a haircut here, and it was back on Main Street.
Yeah, that building is set up like, well, inside we have, it's a half barbershop, half shoemaker, because at various times it was either a barbershop, a hair salon, or it was a shoemaker. And Neil said the back room is, he said it's like a dentist office.
Oh.
It was never a dentist office, but we did have a dentist. And it's called that because Mr. Crawford, when he was a shoemaker, was one of the first merchants to electrify. And this is the barn that was on the property.
Yeah, I was here a couple months ago when you had the barn sale.
Yeah.
And that's what got me reinterested in coming here.
Well, we welcome you back tour this Sunday.
Yeah,
giving
I'm
tour.
going to try.
And we have the barn. Our next barn sale is the last weekend of October.
Okay.
Do that twice a year, and Christmas sale.
Okay, well, your name's Carl?
I'm Carl.
I'm really glad to meet you. You're one of those for the modern times.
I'm the president of the Garden Grove Historical Society at the time. So.
You have any place I can make a donation? I'll be glad to give you a donation.
Sure, I'll be happy to take it. I'll give it. Megan's our treasurer, so I'll give it to her as a donation.
Okay, hang on, I'm going to end my video here. Thank you, Carl.